Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came primetime action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm ballin' like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Ooh, ooh, then the juke move. Heisman stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights came primetime action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came primetime action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden.
We are about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And we are underway in Southern California. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Throwing first play is Herbert. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even?
Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins on the connection to Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. 14, Chargers, nothing. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. At their own 20-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle with Eckler. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, get the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Eckler now between the tackles. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers have cut it back within a score. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've... doing things right now, they've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation. They did have the touchdown run earlier, but not to have to block more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Throwing, Cousins. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. K.J. Osborne from 17 yards out. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch. It's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And that's going to be good for Chargers first down as they get this up to about the 42.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. They'll roll him out right. And he will be out of bounds. A good yardage there, and he'll get a second to catch his breath as it leads us right into the 2-minute warning. Play action. It's Herbert. this one is down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw again on second down. Herbert throwing the out route, and he's got Eckler. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Herbert throwing again. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Nuwanger now from his end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they finally get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46.
But one thing I know for sure, the standard speech is to treat the game like it's tied. But when you have an advantage, they also tell you, make sure you don't get your foot off the gas. Message received.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Calling a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins. This one into the hands of Thielen. And some room to work. Touchdown, Vikings. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, He was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They started on the ground with Eckler. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And that one complete downfield to Allen. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. He's got room at the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Herbert off of play action. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett from 17 yards out. And the Chargers get a bit closer. So a very important first drive of the third quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Nuwanger now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, Cousins. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return, Carter. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same.
On Herbert, his third interception. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And some room to run now.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. This has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. Herbert on 1st down now. And this is caught by Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 3/4 in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now it's Herbert. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw here, Herbert. Under pressure, and they got to him again. James Lynch in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this returnable for Rager. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Second and 12 at the 26-yard line.
On second and 12, Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
First down, Vikings.
Throwing is Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. The ball comes out. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
They go play action. Cousins. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Complete. Jefferson to target. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Got an open man finding Jefferson. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that field.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a quarterback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
19 yards. First down, Minnesota.
Now a give running right. It's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Carter. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Looking Austin Eckler's way again. And he's going to get this down near the 25. On first down, Justin Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Throwing again on second down. Herbert. And this one's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Williams brings it in. Touchdown, Chargers. Mike Williams on the touchdown throw from Justin Herbert. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And oh, it'll be intercepted. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try. They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Take over first down 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 33-yard line.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.